We are live, live, live. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Cullen's Corner Hot Topics. What's up, Cullen?
What's going on, little lady?
Oh, nothing much. Just hanging out. Uh, it's so funny. We said we were going to come on and talk about the election the day after the election. Well,
Yeah.
it's been a week. It's
And
been
it's
almost
still and they're
what's
still
been a
counting.
week.
And it's
and
still
and
counting.
and we still kind of have like no idea what's going
Mm-hmm.
on with the election.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just trying to figure out where we all. Hey, everybody that's joining. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome once again to Cullen's Corner Hot Topics. Hi, Tracy Watford. How are you, lady?
Going on,
Welcome,
Tracy.
welcome, welcome, y'all. What's going on? So happy that you all could join us. Hey, Brenda girl, what's up? How are you, lady? Welcome, welcome. Oh my God, I could so hear that. That is really creepy to hear myself talk. So there's like a lag. That's what's going on, y'all. Welcome once again to Cullen's Corner Hot Topics. I'm Paulette.
I'm Cullen.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, it's been. What in the world is this? So see, this is what happened. What is this? Oh no, we're not doing. What is this on my floor? See, this is what hey, yes, yes, welcome. I can't. So see, I'm in my family room and I'm finding stuff on the floor, and I'm just
Lord.
I, so I'm kind of like, what is all this on the floor? What is that? That looks like chocolate. What is that? I yes. Yeah, right. Not too much, but too much. But let me tell you something. We are here this evening to begin conversation on the election. Oh,
Well,
oh Lord,
you know, the crazy
the
thing about it is
election.
that, they had the Republicans had the same argument, but in reverse back in 2016 when they were calling Hillary Clinton a sore loser, and even though she conceded,
Yeah,
they were calling her a sore loser, and because she wanted to do a recount, and they decided not to. But now they don't even want to even say president elect.
I know. So yeah,
Crazy.
we're gonna talk about all of that. Let's this is really crazy. So Cullen gets up and what? So I am well, Brenda. I am doing well. I am tired. I just left the gym. I worked upper body today. Tomorrow I get to work with my personal trainer again. She is whooping my tail. So it's between her and Gary. And they wear me out. You hear me? But I figure that, now that we are of a certain age, that we have to kind of, you know, take care of ourselves. And but I will say, Cullen, and everybody that's listening, that something is working, right? Because I put on a pair of pants yesterday to go to work. I still have a day job, like everybody else, whatever it is. Man, let me tell you something. They were a size 10, and the back. Oh, y'all, anybody that knows me personally knows that I am not well endowed in the back end, right?
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
back, shut up, Cullen. So the back was sagging, and I thought, oh my God. So I had to take those pants off and find my size nines. So I was excited about that. Now, if I could just do something about these, it would be wonderful. It would be wonderful. But um, yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on. And why I look a hot mess because I just left the gym. But anyway, so normally what we do when we start Cullen's Corner, you laughing, that's not funny. So normally when we start the show, we first of all introduce ourselves and then we kind of give you an idea of who we are and in terms of the brownstone and what's happening. And then we go directly into our hot topics for the evening. And so, first of all, I'm Paulette, and I am one of the hosts of Cullen's Corner Hot Topics. Y'all, I got stuff all in my brazier and stuff. Listen, so but mm, so we are also the owners of KCCR Radio, the Brownstone, and also Brownstone Worldwide. So
Right.
that's a real thing. And our other co-owner is not here, and I'm kind of sad. Where is brother? But we'll work on that later. I know he's having some technical issues. It was raining pretty heavy where he was. So shout out to him, and hopefully we'll get him back in the loop on the next one. So Cullen, please introduce yourself. Right on,
Well,
right on.
I'm Cullen. I've been working and trying to, figure things out as far as this election is concerned, and same thing with Yvette. Just trying to stay healthy and
Yeah.
and get our, I'm 50 now, so I got to make sure that I can live another 50.
Come on now. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Isn't this
So
crazy?
yes.
Like, I never thought like I would sit down and my pants would roll down. Like that's a whole problem.
Hmm.
So I can't even function like that in the whole scheme of things. But let's get right into the topic of the evening. We had an election.
We did.
Y'all, the
Yeah.
United States of America had an election of all elections. And so
Mhm.
I don't know, Cullen, if you want to start, or maybe we want to do like a quick intro on what's happening with the election, and where we currently are. And something else I want to talk about tonight too, that has really kind of weighed heavy on my mind, and that is the agenda for Biden. Like, what is his real total agenda? What does he want to do? And I've been doing some research on that. But first of all, let's talk about this election. Where
I
are
think
we with our electoral votes
I
and
think
all
the
that
I
stuff?
think the networks are differing. I know Fox Network, it has him at 290,
Yeah.
and then the other networks have him at 273, I believe,
Okay.
276 or something like that.
Okay.
And I think the outstanding the states that have not called yet is Georgia, of course,
Uh-huh.
Arizona, and what's the third state?
Was it Nevada?
No, they called Nevada.
North
It was
Carolina.
in
Wait,
Georgia.
so
Oh
y'all help
no,
us
yeah,
out
North
now.
Carolina. North Carolina.
Okay, so it was North Carolina that called.
They have not
Um,
called. They called Nevada. They have not called Georgia, Arizona, and North Carolina yet.
okay.
So they're still
And
calling.
so it's a couple things I'm concerned with. One is his unwillingness to concede.
Hmm.
That's a problem for me. And he
Yeah.
has every right to. He's a United States citizen and he doesn't have to concede. But I just want to go back just a little bit, and guys, chime in at any time and join the conversation. Please do feel free. One of the things I think I'm kind of twisted on is, one, this is the first, like, I've never heard of a president, and I've researched it. I've never heard or read of where a president did not concede. That's one. Number two, I am amazed at the amount of people in the millions that voted still for this guy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be nice, okay, because I could
Yeah.
get real ugly on how I feel about certain things.
Yeah.
But I want to kind of discuss, first of all, he has rights. Let's talk about that. He's got rights. He can do what he want to do. He got a whole team or whatever. But why is he not wanting to concede, y'all? What's up with that? Like, I don't understand. What is does he really believe that he's won the election?
He just does not want to leave. That's all it is, and he's trying everything in his power to stay in office, regardless of the Constitution, regardless of democracy, regardless of anything. And
Yeah.
it's to me it's worse when you have some of the Republicans egging him on, saying, "Don't fight, don't give up." I'm thinking,
Right.
Are you guys serious? He has not. He has not even called the president-elect yet.
Wow.
They have not
That
even
is
communicated.
crazy.
They have not given anything as far as the transition, because this is the transition time,
Right.
and so they have not given any of the transition keys to the president-elect. And
and because of that, he can't access any funds. Is that right?
Yeah, he can't answer this. Well, I don't think that's going to be an issue right now. I think in 2 weeks it could become an issue. I think they have enough money. I think in their coffers that they can probably get by. I think the biggest issue is him being briefed on what's going on. And it doesn't make sense for you not to brief the incoming administration regardless. I mean, if you take it to court and somehow they win, that's not going to hurt you. But you're only you're setting the country back because you're not doing it.
Right.
That tells me he doesn't care about the country. He doesn't care about none of y'all. He ain't did nothing. We got over 1,000 people dying a day in COVID. He ain't said nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? He has not even outside of Twitter. He hasn't done anything. He hasn't said anything. He hasn't done anything, and that's not a president.
Yeah,
that is not a president.
And that's kind of creepy to me. Tracy Wasper says this reminds me of when the North and South disagreed about the end of slavery. Yeah. Belton is in the building. Can you hear us?
What's happening? Can you hear me?
What's up, man? Hey, what's happening, brother?
What's going on?
Yes, and he's
sorry, I'm a little.
Nothing much, man. Let me turn it up. I want to be able to hear you because I know you fired up and ready to go, brother. So I need to be able to hear this. Yes.
Fire it up.
Then him firing, his top military officials and then putting his yes men in. That doesn't make sense either. That doesn't make sense.
We definitely need to talk about that too. And he's fired top military officials at the Pentagon and put all of his lynchmen or henchmen, I think lynchman is a better word, but he's put all his henchmen in position. And that blows my mind. What's happening, DeCarlo?
You got Pompeo talking about for a second term.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? It's like this is a democracy. I don't care what. I mean, you're making the entire United States look crazy on the world stage right now.
Right.
Like, who's gonna take you seriously now? No one does this.
Okay, I agree. So let's back up just a second. We've had two other Brownstone Worldwide associates that have joined the call. Go ahead and introduce yourselves right on before we get back into this topic.
You're talking about me? You're talking about me?
Yes.
No, I'm just joking. What's up? How's everybody? This is DeCarlo Collins chiming in finally. Look, I had to get settled in from work. I'm sorry for being late. I don't want to come. So what's going on?
What's happening? We are here to talk about the election.
What's going on, man?
So what have y'all already said so far besides, because y'all probably gonna say the same stuff I'm finna say.
Well, we just trying to get everybody introduced because I know y'all ready to go. We've been having side conversations and inboxes and text messages back and forth. Right. Go ahead, Belton. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Right on.
What's up, Lamont L. Belton, former sidekick of the Cullen's Corner crew over here. Glad to be back on with y'all. Happy to jump on the line. So I can't do the video right now. It's raining cats and dogs where I am right now.
Right.
But happy to join the conversation, and I'm not sure what you guys were picking up, but just I guess the first order of business would be a congratulations to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for winning the and I would tell the 71 million or so Trump supporters that voted for him that as I told people in 2016 that Trump won fair and square according to the rules in the
Yeah.
Electoral College. Joe Biden has won this fair and square as well.
Right.
The allegations of voter fraud, they seem completely baseless. There's no evidence of that whatsoever so far in what we're seeing. So it's a little disturbing to see the Republicans hold back from officially congratulating Biden, and there's
Right.
resistance to Biden's transition team already. But we all sort of knew this was going to happen.
Yep.
If anyone ever watched Bill Maher over the last few years, he's been like that woman screaming in one of those horror movies when no one's listening to them. He's constantly said that Trump would not leave peacefully, and it doesn't look like that's happening, as you guys just discussed the goings on at the Pentagon. I don't know what that's about, but Trump's a lame duck now, and for the next 2 months, you got to imagine there's some sort of backlash to these results. He's obviously not happy with the results of the election thus far.
Yeah.
And there are actually some very rational Republicans as well who have not officially the way they frame it. They're saying that projected to win, and that is technically true. That Biden is still projected to win. The results of this election have not been ratified yet, so there's still plenty of time, plenty of room for shenanigans. Like we saw in 2000 when it was Gore versus Bush. So. But for now, I guess, depending on what, and this is 2020, so we don't know what the hell's going to happen next. But for now, it's congratulations to Joe Biden and to Kamala Harris for winning the election. And, we go from here. What else can we say about that, right now?
Well, a couple of things I wanted to kind of touch on was something that I was reading today. And let me see if I can pull it up. And it was there has to be a sign off on Biden being able to gain access to certain funds so he can start continuing to build his cabinet. And it's a couple million that he can't have access to because of this. And it's a Trump appointee that stands between Biden's team and a smooth transition. This was actually in the New York Times. Emily Murphy, the administrator of the General Services Administration, has to formally recognize President-elect Joseph R. Biden Jr. for the transfer of power to begin. She actually has the legal authority to begin the transition, releasing $6.6 million in federal funds budgeted for the effort, making office space available, empowering their team members to visit agency offices and request information. So basically, she's like, no, I'm not signing anything. I ain't doing it. So he's
that stuff. You can expect that. I think we all could have expected stuff like that to happen. There'll be more efforts in that, And the $6 million is a lot of money, of course, but for those folks who are operating at that level, Biden can probably pull that out of his leftover campaign cash to cover that.
Which is what he's doing.
It's more of the symbolic gesture of resisting the process, the peaceful transition of power, as they always tell us when these presidential elections go down. I don't know what's going to happen in this country. I would expect that this transfer of power may not be as peaceful as we've seen in the past. Just from the rhetoric of people and just from the, you see the Proud Boys. They just fired the one Negro or the one black person who was on their squad. The Proud Boys got rid of the black Cuban dude who they had there and said, "Oh, we're doing no more token Negroes and homosexuals in our organization." So they let you know how they felt about him.
Boy.
I don't know what the hell you thought he was doing there in the first place.
In the first place, like what was he doing, right?
So, I guess he thought he had some friends, but that turns out not to be the case. So, but it's all I can say is it's going to be interesting to see the developments over the next 2 months. 70 days is plenty of time for Trump, should he choose to say take out his anger or take out his frustration with the results on processes in the country, people in the country. Plenty of time to wreck shop before he goes out.
Basically, that's what he want to do.
Well, isn't that what he's doing though, Lamont, y'all? I mean, isn't
Yeah.
he? He's already started, like what Tracy said earlier, with how he's starting to fire his top military officials,
Right.
and putting his cronies in place.
Right.
So I'm kind of not so much concerned, but do you guys think that he's trying to, according to what Van Jones said, trying to stage a coup per se?
Well,
That was happening.
that really ain't gonna happen. I mean, that's like basically treason, and I don't think that can happen. I think
Yeah,
that
Cullen,
they're gonna try as
can't.
much as they
I wouldn't
can.
say. I wouldn't put anything. You saying can't? Listen. You can't rule anything out right now.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
certainly wouldn't, and I'm surprised Van Jones got that out in between choking down tears. But
You know what? So let's talk about Van Jones, y'all. Just on a lighthearted note, did y'all see the tears?
Yeah.
I,
Oh yeah.
Come on,
I don't
DeCarlo.
even. I didn't even. I'll be honest with you. I didn't even find it funny. It was cringe worthy to me. It was kind of sad to me, kind of pathetic, I think. And Van Jones is a smart dude. You know, and he's worked
Yeah.
with Trump, you know, on prison reform. You're
Yeah.
crying on TV because you feel like, what, it's a new day? Do you not realize that through all of the stuff people say about Donald Trump, about racism, about being a fascist, about whatever they said about Trump, right? We have this economic collapse, we have a pandemic.
Yes.
In the middle of all of this, Biden barely beat him. Trump got
Yeah.
71 million votes.
Votes. Yes.
Do not get up there on TV and cry like it's a new day in America. This is just the start. That day was necessary to happen, right? Just to try and
It's a
get things
very
back on
divided
track.
country, man.
But
It's a
Yep.
very divided
don't
country.
act like sunshine and rainbows now. It's not time for that, brother. You got to stop this crying stuff, man. It's time to. You don't know what the hell's coming next. Please don't get on TV and cry and say, "Oh, I feel like a better father" and all of that mess. This the CNN folks they're just a bunch of drama queens. They get so wrapped up in this stuff, man, and they've got to stop their nonsense and start treating this stuff seriously. You know, they treat it like it's a drama. It's like a TV
Yeah.
series. Like I'm watching Scandals. I'm watching Scandals version of CNN.
I
Not what CNN used to be.
know.
You know,
Yes.
and that stuff's got to stop. So he can't get on TV and so. I don't know what the hell he was crying about, man. Just cut that out, man. This is serious
I don't think
stuff.
anybody does. I think, and
I don't know
when
where
I
it came
heard
from.
it, DeCarlo, please expand. Where did you see this?
I don't know where it came from. All I know, I was watching TV at no, what was I at when it was announced? I was actually watching College Game Day, and then I got the thing on on my phone saying Joe Biden has been projected as the next president. So I'm happy. So I've been watching CNN like Lamont been saying for the past 5 days, like it has been Big Brother on CBS. And when I saw him start sharing tears, I started freaking. I was like, "What are you crying for? Happy, yes, but tears." I was like, "Dude, hold it. Let's don't bring the Negro tears out just yet. You know, we got a long way to go. You know,
Yeah.
we got to get to December when they actually ratify the
Yes.
votes and everything.
Yeah.
And we don't know what. And like Lamont said, and I can agree with this. We don't know what's going to happen within these next 70 days. We have just went through how many months of 2020? 2020 has been completely hell
Yes.
for all
Yeah.
of us.
Oh my
So
God.
we've been through a lot. So we got to go through these next 70 days until we get to the ratification day where it's official. Yes, let's celebrate that we got the votes. Let's celebrate that this happened. Let's celebrate the fact that everybody was patient and allowed the
Yeah.
system to actually work, and it really did. Now, what we got to deal with now is the chaos that's going on beginning Monday morning, and I hope everybody's been paying attention from the Secretary of what is the Secretary of State Defense?
Pompeo.
I don't know. I don't like Pompeo anyway. Who
Mhm.
cares about it? I mean, look at all the things that's going on. So let's just focus on right now. We got what
Yeah.
we wanted, but now let's get ready to go through these next phases. and hopefully everything works out for the best.
All right.
Yeah. But the tears. I'm sorry. Anybody else?
So what do you guys think of yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Well, I was just going to pivot over to the potential Biden administration. I'm not. People are talking like it's a done deal. I'm not. I don't think it's a done deal at all in terms of Biden taking office on January 20th. There's some very squirrely, very weird rules about the electoral college, which must be abolished. These electors do not have to give their votes for the candidate that won their states. And if you look at that map, there are a lot of red states on that map that technically there's no law in books that says that they must follow the will of the people. And it's one of the beefs that people have when they say my vote does not count, because in a very real way, you are not directly voting for the president of the United States. You're giving a directive to those electors to tell them we want this person.
Right.
There are some things in place that say there's some issue the governor can decide where the votes go to. So this thing can take a lot of twists and turns, and you better believe if you know anything about Donald Trump,
he's not
going to give up. And if he decides to dive into those sort of rules, you're going to see some stuff you've never seen before in this country.
I agree.
I think it's a very real
I agree with that.
I don't rule it out.
I absolutely see that.
It's likely. I'm not saying go hide your kids, but I'm saying the possibility does. Now, with a Biden administration, and this is what makes Van Jones's tears so incredibly ridiculous. If you look at the record, this is all well documented stuff about the man. When we talk about they talk about the '94 crime bill a lot. Of course, there was another one in the '80s that he was a part of. And his rhetoric back then was very harsh. He was very much a pit bull about arresting and putting people in jail under the conditions that the CIA, the U.S. government itself helped create and admitted to. Nixon administration officials last year came out and said, we put crack in those neighborhoods because we want to get at black folks and hippies. And so they created this condition with the crack epidemic that caused a lot of the crime that then Joe Biden then prosecuted black folks in jail for. An audio tape of Joe Biden when Harris talks about Biden being against desegregation, she wasn't lying. There's an audio tape of Joe Biden saying that he did not want our families going to school together because he didn't want the families mixing.
Yeah.
He was very much friends with segregationists, racists, all that stuff. Now, I'm not saying in his heart of hearts Joe Biden is a racist. I'm not saying that. But if you have friends who are, at the very least, they're going to have some racist tendencies. His record is not good. For me, him being president was not a reason for me to celebrate. Because in any other year, you wouldn't vote for this guy. And if you look at the cabinet he's putting together, I mean, it's staunchly Republican. He's going to govern as a Republican governor. He's telling Wall Street, "Don't worry." He's telling folks, "I'm not rolling back Trump's tax cuts." His record is not good. It's not a reason for me to celebrate. Personally, I wanted the chaos to calm down, and I think that's why a lot of people voted for Biden. But that,
So to your point, Lamont,
and I have celebrate. It's damn sure not a reason to cry and boo.
Yeah.
Like somebody just saved you. We're not saved.
No, not by a long shot. And that was something I definitely wanted to bring up. One of the my girlfriends and I were having this conversation about what's going to happen the day after the election. And to your point, Lamont, about we're not saved, and we, I told her, I said, well, first things first is hell, I'm gonna get up and go to work. I'm not gonna sit on my front porch with a bat or anything like that. And or wear. Now I did wear blue. that day. But it was no big deal because, first of all, I'm going to just keep it 100. And you and I and Cullen have had this conversation. I wasn't real messed up about either one of them. What I did want was for the foolishness and the fuckery to stop. Okay? I'm just going to keep it 100. Right? And I'm going to be honest with you. I think a lot of people who made a decision to vote blue this time, who normally maybe vote red or whatever, or women or men or, you know, transgender, whomever, made the decision to vote this time for the blue, for Biden and for Kamala Harris, was because we had enough. We had seen enough. And I'm not going to tell y'all, I've never, let's just keep it 100. Y'all already know me. I'm not a Republican. And honestly, I'm not blue either. But what I am is for common decency and common sense and having a level of decorum when you are representing millions and millions of people, not only here in the United States of America, but worldwide. And so my other question and concern is in the midst of everything that's going on, I'm sitting up thinking this morning, I'm like, yo, what is going to happen to our national security? We're like sitting freaking ducks right now. I'm about to cuss. But I feel like during this time, we're sitting ducks. With all of this, we're wide freaking open for so much to happen. If somebody really wanted to act a fool somewhere else, I understand where the power.
Now is the chance, simply because there's still uncertainties, there's still unbalance in our country. Regardless of what everybody said, that this is what we're dealing with. You got to think about it. He's trying right now to pull the troops out of Afghanistan.
My God.
Why? What is your actual valid reason? Yes. If and like I said, I'm one of those guys that really research beyond, you know, just what the headlines say. I try to see what's going on. You got to think of everything that Trump has been trying to do since the beginning. Now, you got to think, remember Monday, they had a hearing on Obamacare. Why? They're still trying to erase the legacy of what President Obama did. That's just plain. That's all the goal was in the first place. That's why the chaos in America has been happening for the past 4 years, because we had chaos in the seat that is supposed to be the President of the United States of America. That's just what it is. And then you got to look at his cabinet around him. They're going to do whatever it takes to ruin a legacy and then walk away saying, hey, we did our job. You know, that's just what it's all about. You got to think of everything that's going on right now.
Well,
we had a whole year.
Well, think about it. Think.
I mean, really, you got to think about it. It's you can go back from the day
Trump journey started, right? I think.
Go ahead, Lamont. You're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah.
Hello.
No, I am breaking. I can tell I'm breaking up. Think about where Trump's run started, right? It started when at that White House course.
No, we lost him
again. Where Obama agent absolutely roasted him. It was that moment when Trump decided. It was that moment that Trump decided, I'm running for president and I'm going to erase all your shit. So this whole presidency started out based on spite, and really, if there are several people here, I think that put us in this situation. One of them is Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Agreed.
Yeah. Obama asked her to step down in 2013. She was already sick with cancer. And he asked her to step down.
Yep.
She didn't step down. Do you guys understand why she didn't step down? Because she thought Hillary Clinton was going to be president after Obama, and she wanted a woman to fill her. If that is not the height of hubris, arrogance, elitism, that is it was incredibly stupid of her to do that. She put
her eggs in that basket.
All of our asses on the line because she's stupid, and it fucked us all over, because now the Supreme Court is 6-3. The Supreme Court is 6-3 conservative to liberal. The Senate is likely going to still be in Republican hands.
True.
Joe Biden is going to get in office and find out there's nothing he can get passed. Do you remember this? The last 6
He
years
couldn't
of
do
Obama's presidency,
anything.
it was nothing but a constant struggle to get the
Yeah. Agreed.
littlest crumb of anything done. That's going to be nothing compared to now, because even if Biden wins some of these fights, you know what's going to happen? Straight to the Supreme Court.
Yep.
Straight to those 6 conservative justices. Straight to it getting struck down.
Yeah, that's the frustration that everybody.
That's why I said there's no time for tears. The sort of longiness is not good for unless you're a conservative, it's fantastic. But if you're not a conservative or far right, this is not a good look. It's not
No,
a
it's
situation.
not. It's not. And so to your point, Lamont, you were breaking up a little bit. You were saying that Ruth Ginsburg should have stepped down when Obama asked her. That would have kept us, and so he could have sworn in someone who had, so that we could have kept the balance in the Supreme Court. That's one. I absolutely agree with that. And I never understood why she didn't want to step down. But again, that's elitism. And that attitude that you're going to be around, and then also the thought that Hillary Clinton was going to win, which we saw that didn't happen. Right. That's a whole nother beast in and of itself, and we're not even here to discuss that part. I could go on and on about that mess, but when we're talking about Biden and this election and Trump, and I hate to even say his name, sometimes it drives me insane, and all of the hilarious memes that everyone has been sharing online and all of that, at the end of the day, I'm going to be honest with you all. I don't think that we have anything to dance to be honest.
Well, we can't dance to anything because everything's so screwed up now. So it's not like, they're happy. Now I can understand. I can understand why people are like, why Van crying, but he has his reasons. I know the fight is just beginning. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We have a long ways to go. I'm you can always call me an eternal optimist, but I have, hope that this next administration will get us back on the path of, getting things right again. I would give them that chance, just like people gave Trump that chance and he blew it the first day. So
not the first day, damn, Cullen.
No, day one it was horrible. But like I said, I agree with that too. I think it's just more of we heard our voice, and I think that's the victory of it. I was happy because it was like our voice is being heard again.
Right.
I think that's the biggest thing. I don't think it was just about Biden. Like y'all said, I didn't want Biden in office. I was looking at his age, and I looked at his track record.
Yep.
But I was really looking at the fact that, okay, we're getting this sucker out of office. Maybe we could get some restoration back here, and then focus on what we need to do in the next election, which is the midterm. That's where we have to work. And that's where the education has to come in. If we don't do it at the midterm election, then we're not doing anything.
We just got to continue to work. You're right.
Yep.
You got to continue to work.
That's where the education has to come in. We teach everybody about the president. We teach them about the governors of each state, but we don't teach them about midterms. We don't teach them about the local elections. We don't teach them about anything. So that's where we have to put our real work in. So that's where it starts for me. But overall, I think it was just a celebration of the fact that Donald Trump is gone. That's it.
I'm sorry. All of a sudden, I heard the whiz. Ding dong, the witch is dead. I'm sorry.
That was in my head too. Ding dong, the witch is dead. So I feel the same way.
Yeah. And we just have to, I think, and here's something else, guys, that, we could talk about this till we're blue in the face. And yes, we voted and our voices were heard. But you know what? We need to stay. Oh, I'm about to cuss. Y'all know I always announce. We need to stay on their asses. You hear me? We got them in there. But the thing is we're going to have to, as a people and as a unit, I don't know exactly how that's going to happen, because I'm not going to go knock on, certain doors or whatever, but whatever organizations, whatever groups, whatever we need to do, we need to start holding people to the fire, because once this, first of all, like you all have been saying, it's not going to be an easy transition. And Lamont brought up something that I thought when I was reading the news this morning, the first thing I thought in my mind, oh my God, this is going to end up being a civil war. So what happens to the United States, and I'm just using worst case scenario because, of course, my creative brain thinks like that. I'm thinking if this ends up being a civil war, which I could see because unfortunately, folks are showing their true colors.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean? And we're seeing people at their worst when it comes to how they feel. That's how come y'all don't see me post about it a lot, talk about it a lot, because I'm kind of in the middle. Like, you know what? I'm not playing either part because at the end of the day, as a Black woman and as a child who was raised by folks who grew up in the 20s during the Depression, as Black folks, they said they didn't know there was a Depression. Okay, so in other words, they just kept right on moving, and that's what most of us know how to do anyway, right?
Right.
But we're going to get caught in the middle of all of this crap, and that is what is going to that's concerning to me. Also, each one of us have Black sons, and
Yeah.
that concerns me. You're getting ready to have one to graduate, Cullen. Your baby already graduated, Carlo, and Lamont, your son got a long way to go. And so I think about those things and how this is going to look and what we need to do as middle, I hate to say it, but middle-aged adults who are the leaders right now for our communities and for our families. What does that look like long term if we don't hold these people to the fire? Because it's one thing to put your folks in cabinets. Supposed to go ahead,
Well,
go ahead.
I would.
You're breaking up.
What's it going to look like? You mentioned Civil War, right? So for me, I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, just a little bit better. Yeah. And I'm
Okay. Well, I know people. I know people talk about Civil War, and I just don't believe in America enough to believe that they're going to head that way, right? We love our Starbucks on the corner too much. Our lives are, even with the pandemic, convenience to want to go to a Civil War. So I
They
think
might, Lamont. You
you'll
might
see
have
a
some people
social
want to go
media
out in
sort
the
of Civil
fields.
War, I guess. I mean, you'll see some skirmishes in the
Yeah.
streets. I mean, people. I don't see a civil. I don't see a civil war. I just don't see it getting to
To that.
that. I don't even think that the so-called silent majority. They're neither silent nor are they the majority. I don't even think it's even. I don't even think it's that serious. I'd have to see it to believe
Yeah.
it, and I hope those aren't famous last words. But I don't. I see a little civil unrest. But I don't think it's just like white folks and Black folks are just going to
No, I don't see that.
just turn on each other and start fighting. I don't see that sort of scenario. I guess what people are painting out. I think there's I think there's some anger. There's going to definitely backlash to the election results should Biden finally get sworn in. But the whole thing of uh, there being a civil war, I just don't see that going down like that. Not in America today. Back in the day, sure, everybody had guns and porches and stuff like that. These days, we got we're just too soft and too convenient and too and that's both sides. You know what I'm saying? Those far right wing nuts, they love their Starbucks too. And every corner
I do.
and all of this other nonsense that we're into. It sounds good. It sounds dramatic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It does, and we do love drama. We love made for TV shit, and that's why that's why there's so much talk like that. But I don't see it going down that road. I think the fight is really going to be in the government, right? So Trump replacing top Pentagon folks, and those are political appointee positions. But it's not like he's removing generals. But then again, military folks, they follow orders. So who knows what's going to go down with that? There may be a change in the power structure and in how power works in the country. But I don't think you're going to see like widespread blood in the streets from coast to coast with people clashing. There is no Mason-Dixon line, in America. It just doesn't. The country's not like that anymore.
Right.
Right.
So I don't see it. I think we like I think people like read history and is they fall in love with the romanticized version of it. And listen, and if I want to let me get really real for a second, right? So this is like white folks' game to play, and you got white folks who are conservatives, white folks who are liberals, this is more their fight than it is our fight. Paulette brought up a good point. Black folks going through the Great Depression didn't know there was a Great Depression because it was
as
just
we
life
knew it.
as always.
And that's kind of where I
think
feel
for
like we're
us,
at
as
now.
Black
Yeah.
folks, what we have to realize, we don't have we don't have a dog in this liberal conservative battle. I wish we would stop acting like one side loves us over the other. It's that let's stop. Let's first of all, let's understand where the conservatives are, and hopefully that dude from the Proud Boys got his little nigga wake up call, and hopefully it wakes a few more people up around him to the stuff that goes on that side. And then we got to stop looking for that hug from liberal white daddy, because that's not coming.
Amen.
Don't sit there and believe those liberals can't be racist. You want to see a racist liberal? Disagree with them. Disagree with them.
You ain't lying.
Disagree with their point of view. Disagree with
y'all felt that, huh?
they're
I mean,
saying.
you said something right there.
And it will. That woman who got that brother, tried to get that brother arrested. That woman who tried to get that brother arrested in Central Park, that was just bird watching. She was a Democrat. She voted for Obama. But yet there she is on the phone talking about, I'm going to call the cops and they're going to believe me.
Yes, I remember that.
But you better believe that exists on the liberal side too.
Yeah.
So when somebody like Ice Cube comes up, or somebody comes up and says, let's stop giving our votes automatically to this side that doesn't do anything. They pander to us for the vote. When they get the vote, they forget about us. Joe Biden got up there and said, and pounded that podium and said, Black people, you always had my back. Well, guess what, Joe? You have not always had our back. You know what I mean? You have backed us into prison. So we need to, as a people, we need to be on our side. We need to step into the middle of that liberal conservative bullshit and say, what are you going to do for us for our vote?
And that's what we have to do. That's what we have to do now. I think that's where it's going. I think that's where it's going now, because I think more people are paying attention.
We are.
More people are paying attention, and right now it's like, okay, I see you, I see what you're doing, and I'm hearing you, and I'm paying attention now. So I need to see what you're doing from day one. And I think, especially with the Democratic Party, they know that your vote is just, it's not automatic anymore. So you really need to do something in the next 4 years to make sure you know that the minorities and the Latinas are there. That they will come to figure out why the people in Miami didn't vote for you. You know, because they got you thinking. Trump got them thinking you were socialist party. You know,
right?
You got to figure out what we have to do to get this change, and we got to put people in those positions to and make people stay abreast on things.
But you know what? There's one thing that Van Jones did say after he wiped them tears. He did say that the Democratic Party has got to reevaluate themselves now.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And really figure out what it is they're doing that's making the minority vote disappear from this side of the fence. And that's one thing he did say. And I agree with that. They got to look in the mirror. And they got to figure out what's going on in places that are overpopulated with multicultural, like Florida, like Georgia, which has a lot of Black folks in
Texas.
North Carolina, Texas, South Carolina. There's another place. There's a lot of places in the Deep South that have a very strong population in the African American culture. They got to figure out what's going on that's taking their votes away from there and going to the other side. And like everybody's saying, false promises has been the biggest thing. What are you going to do for the minority culture? I'm not just going to say African American. I'm going to say the minorities in general. What are you going to do to help benefit them? Because those are the ones that are still on the backside of the fence trying to get through, while everybody else is already 10 times ahead of them. And that's where. So Van Jones did say something right. So y'all don't be too hard on him. Them tears of joy.
He was like this right here, and I was like, oh.
Y'all don't be hard on that man. That man.
Stop that. Get up there and show.
Hey, leave that man alone.
So let me ask you guys this question.
You breaking up, dear?
Let me ask you guys this question.
Yep.
So when you look at the results,
Yep.
okay, can you hear me now? Okay. So when you look at the results, Trump gained in every single demographic except for white men. He went from 14 to 18% with black men. He doubled with black women from 4 to 8%. Latinos he gained with, and there was a category called other, and I'd be highly offended if I wasn't in one of the previously mentioned groups, and I'm just other. But he gained in every single category across the board except for white men. What do you guys think accounts for that?
So here's a question I have.
I stumped everyone. Huh?
So wait a minute. So do you think that his running mate might have had something to do with that? I've actually heard people in conversation say things like, a woman has no business there. And I'm talking about brothers. They can't get my vote. I've heard black men say that.
And to this day, I don't understand that, and that's why the black woman is the most
right.
unprotected being.
I got something for the brothers later, but go ahead.
Yes, we are. Yes, I'm a black woman. And we are the most unprotected.
I will say it, and it's sad, and it took me a while to really understand what they meant by that, but it is so true. The black woman is the most unprotected woman on the face of this earth, and it's a sad feeling to see that.
It is.
How they get degraded so bad for no apparent reason whatsoever. But every white woman, and I'm sorry if any white women that is watching this, but most of white women want the same body structure, the lips, the hair, the texture, whatever you can think about. And you're seeing this every single day when you hear somebody talk about Kamala Harris, if you want to go back to Michelle Obama, if you want to go further and talk about Stacey Abrams and the work that she did in Georgia by herself. And she was so many gorillas on social media that it was ridiculous.
Yes. I unfriended a couple people behind that.
Yeah, and that's the saddest thing in the world for the work that they do. But let's look at the big picture. The black woman is the reason why this man got in office. Because of the work that was being done. We didn't do a damn thing.
The grassroots. They was grassroots.
They was grassroots like crazy. And simply because we saw another face that's right along with this ticket. And that's what happened. It wasn't about their record. It wasn't about anything. It was about a multicultural woman that's face was on this ticket. Yep. And black women saw them again on this ticket. And that's why the vote was pushed the way it was. So
but DeCarlo.
Yeah.
Not that being said, he doubled his numbers with black women. It's a still small amount. But twice as many black women voted for him, percentage-wise.
So can I say this?
Voted for Trump.
Can I say this too? So let me also say this to the Carlos point. Even though we are the most unprotected group of people in the world, sisters can also be a detriment.
Yes.
Are you feeling what I'm saying? Like we could be like, man, I ain't voting for that bitch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, I heard it. Listen,
probably that 8% was still diamonds and silks that y'all saw on Fox.
Right.
And there's another one. You've seen people like that, so that tells you a lot about our culture. And that's the saddest thing in the world. Now you have those, but you have a lot of Yvettes, you have a lot of Nakimas, you have a lot of women like that. That's the majority. Those are the ones that we got to continue to feed our souls into, especially the 8%. We got to get them back. And I'm in no shape, form, or fashion. I'm a Democrat or Republican. I'm right in the middle. I want the best person for the job.
Yeah.
But we had to get rid of this tyrant because he's trying to be more of a dictatorship than it is being the president of the United States, was pretty much the CEO.
Right.
So that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. So guys, go ahead.
So I think with Harris, right? I'm sorry. I'll be very quick. I know I'm not often quick, but I'll be quick about
go
this
ahead.
with if you go back to the primaries, there was very little excitement about her even back then. Like she was constantly polling at about 2%. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't think it was necessarily because she was a black woman or she was a woman of color. I think that, and I'm not going to pull up her record too much because she's black. She's the first black vice president. And just
Black
like
on
with
black on
Obama,
black.
I ain't
Yeah.
scrutinized a whole hell of a lot. I said, get some more brothers up in there if you really want me to dig into that record. Get some more sisters up in there, and I'll start scrutinizing their record. But there are people who are scrutinizing her record, and there are a lot of things not to like about her record and her career in California. She put a lot of black folks away. She was very heavy-handed as a prosecutor. First of all, she's a prosecutor, so people are looking at her like, yo, she's a cop. Second of all, like,
But
when she talks about putting parents in jail because their kids are being truants, like, and it wasn't just that she did that. It was like she sort of relished in it. Like, she seemed to find some joy in it, some humor in doing stuff like that. People did not like her past. People did not like what she did. And yeah, is there a part of people or in particular with brothers? And I'm not putting this all on brothers because Trump gained in every category. So we're not gonna sit here and just bash the brothers for that. He gained in every category. So go ahead and bash the Latino men, bash the Latino women, bash the sisters because he doubled their numbers, bash the other category because he gained in all those categories. If you're gonna call anybody heroes out of that, then it's the white men who fell off, who supported the Democrats. If you're gonna go that route. And I'm not saying you should, but what I'm saying is that there are things to that real things, real issues about Harris that people did not like. She did not excite people, and I talked to brothers and sisters who felt that way about her. So there was definitely a lack of enthusiasm over her. Certainly a lack of enthusiasm over Biden. That dude ran on platitudes and no plan. He didn't tell you a damn thing he was going to do. He got up there and preached soul of the nation and all of that nonsense. And please, we got to be nice to each other. No, motherfucker, we're in a pandemic. And when everyone's losing their money and losing their minds, give us a plan to get the hell out of this mess. Stop sitting and trying to plead emotionally to people for these votes. No, what are you going to do? So he ran on not being Trump. And picking Harris was definitely pandering, and I'm okay with it because my sister's in office, so I'm good with that. But there's some real issues there, and listen, time will tell. Should they ultimately get in office here, they are going to have to do stuff for people. And I'm gonna tell you, the early signs are not good. He has put his energy secretary that he's going to put in charge of energy in the country is a fossil fuel lobbyist. Mitt Romney is going to be in his cabinet.
Yeah,
Mitt Romney.
Yeah, I saw that.
The guy that ran up against Obama.
Mm-hmm.
He's putting
he
Republicans
is.
in the cabinet.
Yes. Yep.
And if you talk to Democrats, the excuse, because this is an excuse, they always say this. Well, we have to.
No, we
play
don't.
Nice
They didn't play nice with us.
We have to work together with them because we're going to need their votes to get
them,
the Republicans, you never hear that from the Republicans. They never say, oh, well, yeah, we're going to have to do Medicare for all because the Democrats like it. You don't ever hear that stuff from them. So these Democrats, and I'm sorry to say it, they are all diet Republicans. They're more like Republicans. They call them leftists and socialists. First of all, nobody in this country knows what the hell a socialist is anymore. It's a scary word that we heard in high school and we thought it was all Russia. Nobody knows what the hell a socialist is. And I would tell people to go ahead and research the topic before you really dive into that stuff. We need this president to do stuff for the majority of people. There are two issues that if either of these idiots running for president had even bothered to run on, they would have ran away with the election. One is Medicare for all. If they ran on Medicare for all, I mean, you would have blown things away. Stuff like higher minimum wage, stimulus. These are issues that if these guys had run on, they would have, either one of them, and they both chose not to. Right. And they both chose not to for a reason, because it is not in their DNA to look out for the people. These are issues where if you poll 85% of the people want this stuff. And neither one of them picked that up and said, "Oh, I can use this to get some votes." They don't want it.
Let's just see. I believe I truly believe that it's something that is going to in order for them to go forward, they have to do it. And I'm going to give it. I can give a damn about the past because everybody has a past. You know what I mean? I'm not going to. If you have everybody that was at the primaries and you were voting, you can nitpick any little thing about everybody. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, otherwise, I mean, we got fucking Trump in the office. Now, come on.
Yeah.
So my thing is,
what you finna do?
If you say this is what you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna until you show me when you get in office, and then all of a sudden you can revert back to your old ways. Then I was like, you know what? Damn, we gotta get this fool out of here. But you know what? If you're telling me this is what you're gonna do, and especially now, like I said, people are woke now. People are paying attention. Before, people weren't paying attention. You got 1 out of every 100 people even know what a damn midterm election is.
Yep, they know now.
People know because what happened with Obama. People know. And so people are paying attention, and they know they're paying attention. They have to. This is the thing. We're at a brink right now where we're teetering. We're teetering as a country. And the people that we're putting in power, they have to make results. They have to do it. They have to do things now. Otherwise, this country's going downhill.
So let's talk about that.
We have no choice.
Right. So let's talk about some of the issues that he wants to do in his first 100 days as president, because currently he is still the president-elect, but this is what he plans to do. Day one, assemble a coronavirus task force during his presidential transition, which he's already doing. Push for immediate coronavirus legislation, mandatory masks, things of that nature, which we know is going to be a fight. Releasing a vaccine distribution plan is another. Reversing Trump's corporate tax cut. So I was actually researching this today, and he's actually pledged that on his first day as president that he was going to raise corporate income taxes by 28%. So I don't know how that's going to go over, but okay. Right now it's at the 21% range, and that came from 2017. Make the U.S. an international leader on climate change and repair the mess that was made with WHO. I hope that's the right organization. So here's something else. Y'all, check this out. He's also pushed for the passage of laws to strengthen the Voting Rights Act. Okay, so actually extending what the Voting Rights Act actually does right now. And there's legislation he wants to put in place to pass. So last year, the U.S. House actually passed legislation to extend it, but the Senate didn't do it. And so he wants to go ahead and extend that. Something else that he wants to do is do some comprehensive immigration changes, stop family separation at the U.S.-Mexico border. So those are just a few of the things that he's talking about doing in his first 100 days. That's a hell of a lot. And I'm not saying that he can't do it, but let's get through this first 69. Currently it's 69 days, guys. But I'm encouraging everybody to kind of check out what Biden says that he is going to do, he and his cabinet, and Kamala as well. And y'all, let's keep these people's feet to the fire, and that's real. I think we cannot, and I'm gonna go back to what the videos and stuff that I've been seeing online. We can't keep dancing in the streets. We can't do another damn electric slide, y'all. I'm sorry. It ain't that much celebrating in the world. Let's hold some folks to the fire. And we understand that this slide. I don't want to say another cha-cha slide. I don't either. I'm over it. You know, okay, Philly, I get it. You know, y'all were excited. You know, things were great. At ATL, y'all showed out too.
You know, in the Civil War, but people are out in the streets doing
yes, honey, they was in the streets, baby. And I can't understand. And it's okay to be excited. But I'm with you guys. And I think that there are more people who think like we do, like, okay, now here we are. Once we get past this hump, because Trump is getting ready to act a complete fool. He's already doing that. So once we get through that and everything is okay. So first of all, y'all do know that Georgia is actually going to hand count every single vote. Y'all do know that, right?
Yeah, I just heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going back to the okay. So what you can relose? Okay, fine. We can, whatever. But this is going to be an interesting next couple months.
Right
I
in.
will say that.
Yeah.
So we're at the end of the show. It's literally an hour and 2 minutes.
Yeah, the fuck shit's
Yes. So what I want to do is make sure that we just lost uh Lamont. Oh no. So okay, so what I want to do is let's go ahead and talk about the next show. So we will be back in 2 weeks. Is that right, Cullen?
Yes. 2 weeks.
We will be back in 2 weeks. So are we going to be discussing more of what's coming down the pipe? What are we going to do? Do we just want to kind of play with it and see what's happening in terms of the election, what
I
Trump is
think.
doing?
From now to the end of the year, I think we'll have to play it by ear.
Yeah,
Play
I
it
think
by
so
ear.
too.
And I would like to add another topic that I really would like to discuss along with this is black on
Okay.
black crime. Black
Okay.
on
Ooh.
black violence is a big issue that I think it's time for all of us to talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing this up simply because a young man died today in Dallas, Texas. He was a rapper. A lot of
I
people don't
heard
know
about
who he was,
that.
but he was shot down the highway. They chased him down the highway and killed him. You had a killing in Atlanta over the weekend of another
Yeah.
young artist. But what I really want to bring this up is simply because black on black crime is an issue, and we gotta start talking about it.
We
We
do.
talk about police brutality, we talk about racism, we talk about racist acts, but we do not talk about black on black crime. So I think it's time for us to really put a hard subject on it to really discuss
Yeah.
what's really going on and
Right.
what we can do as a community to really start pushing this issue because it's getting out of hand.
I agree.
I agree. I agree. And it's definitely something that we definitely need to continue getting up and talking about and finding out what agencies and programs are currently out there in certain areas around the country that support what you're talking about because they're out there. And I think
Yeah.
Yes.
more and more people need to know about that.
Right.
I think we should, you know how I love to kind of keep it a little lighthearted. So let's see about putting the love and relationship topic in the next one. Because, boy,
I got a few.
I got a bunch.
you too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I got a
So,
bunch.
yeah. And so let's talk about KCCR really quick for those people who are listening and will be listening to the replay. KCCR radio, we are still planning. The app is actually being developed, which is really great. We cannot wait to share that with you all. And lastly, we are taking our time. 2021 is going to be a year of a lot of change, and we want to make sure that the change is permanent.
Exactly.
So rushing to get to market is not something I think any one of us is willing to do at this point. So we are going to continue to keep you all posted. But in the meantime, you can definitely still check out some of the things that we're doing. Go ahead, guys, and tell them where they can follow you all on your social media platforms.
You can follow me on Cullen's Corner on Instagram, and then and Cullen underscore or Cullen's Corner on Twitter.
Um,
DeCarlo?
all right, you can check me out on Instagram at DeCarlo versus D. And my Twitter account is at DeCarlo_Collins, as well as, my Facebook page, no doubt is facebook.com/DeCarlo Collins.
Okay. Y'all, you know what, y'all talking too fast. All right.
Thanks, Gino.
Okay.
Gino in the house. Gino Johnson.
Where's Gino Johnson at? Let me see. Hey, what's up, Gino Johnson? We went to high school with Gino. What's going on, boy? How you doing?
Boy.
What's going on? You missed a really well. Good work. Well, thank you so much. You should absolutely join us for the next one.
Yeah.
We'll be back in 2 weeks. And so again, KCCR Radio. Let me tell you some other things that are going on currently. The Sunday brunch is still the Sunday morning show that I myself do. I know DeCarlo, you have your show, Ear Hustling, that will be returning, and then
Yeah.
Cullen, of course, has For Lovers Only. That's all I got. and of course, Cullen's Corner right here, which we do every other week. And we'll come back next week after next, and we'll be discussing some things. So again, don't forget, you can go ahead and you can follow me at It's the Sunday Brunch on Facebook, and you can also follow me at your girl Paulette on Instagram. And you'll be able to see some of the stuff that I have going on, including Brownstone Living, and some of our home decor and other items that we currently have for sale at my what? Let me say it. 2 stars, 2 stars, 2 stars. Yes. Okay. That's exciting. It's a lot of work, y'all. Are you laughing at me, DeCarlo?
Because that was like the most craziest 5-second commercial.
It
Two
was.
stars, two
2
stars.
stars, 2 stars. Y'all, I be so tired, but look, it's worth it. And it's Brownstone Living and Essentials. And of course, those items are also available at mybrownstoneliving.com. So there you go. That's all I got right now. So anything else? And Cullen, you always lead us out. Is there anything you want to leave us with, DeCarlo, before Cullen, our fearless leader, leaves us?
Two
Leaves
things.
us.
Ear
Okay.
Hustling Radio will be on for the end of the year show, December 30th, 2020. It is going to
Woo-hoo.
be a huge roundtable discussion, and that will kick off the actual full season of Ear Hustling Radio going into summer 2021. Lord willing, if we make it to 2021. Um, you know what I mean, because there's so much going on. But that's going to be a
Yes.
fun show. I got a group of friends that's going to come. We're going to hang out, have drinks, and we're going to talk about different things that's going on at the end of the year. Other than that, I want everybody to be safe. Please wear your mask, stay out of trouble, and go Bears. That was for
The
color.
Beard and Bears.
No.
First of all-
Chicago Bears.
First of all, go Packers.
Oh,
Let's go.
oh.
And I wanna first give kudos to Kamala Harris. You know, the first black vice president. You know, we gotta give her props. You know, we gotta protect our black women, and I love that as a black woman that's in office right now. So, you know, or vice president elect, or whatever you want to call her. But you know, everybody, we really need. I mean, the coronavirus is still there. COVID-19 is out there. Is bad. It's getting worse by the day. Over 1,000 people a day are dying. So just be safe. You know, wear your mask, and hopefully we get over this hump, and get back to some type of normal.
Yeah. Okay. One last thing, guys. I forgot. Let's talk about where you can find more information on the Brownstone Center, and that is the Brownstone Center right there. So you can go ahead and follow that. I noticed that we've been having some stories that have been going up, that Cullen has been posting about issues and things that are of a concern in our community. You guys can definitely check that out. And you will also be able to see this particular show and previous shows from Cullen's Corner there as well. Also, you'll be able to listen to the post-produced Sunday Brunch radio show. So definitely check that out. You guys, it's been real. It's been real. We'll see you all in 2 weeks. Yes. Thanks so much for joining us. Go ahead and continue to like, comment, and share this particular episode. Go ahead and like the Brownstone Center and follow all of us on our social media platforms. We will see you all at the next Cullen's Corner Hot Topics. And as we always say in the Brownstone, no matter where you go, there we are. Peace.
All right.